Let's potter through Tuesday's headlines. Here they are. They have just gone to press. And we start with the Daily Mail, which has British troops sent to Ukraine. This is a story we'll be covering in just a moment. But fears there is a Russian invasion of Ukraine is just days away. And there's also a picture of Meghan, Princess Meghan, looking very glamorous. Now she complains to BBC over Amol Rajan's Royals podcast. That's a story we won't be covering, I'm delighted to report. And next we have The Guardian and Cummings. This is a story we will be covering. Dominic Cummings accuses the PM of lying over Number 10 party. There's also the UK sending the anti-tank weapons to the Ukraine. There is a picture of Boris out jogging. He normally posts pictures of himself out jogging when he's trying to boost his popularity. He's decided to run in used Smarties containers today. And there's also, The Guardian has inquiry launched into moan over VIP lane deal. Onto the Telegraph, and lots of stories on the front cover of the Telegraph. I rather suspect this is all part of Operation Red Meat, which is suddenly for the government to announce all sorts of initiatives which will make them popular with the public in order to distract from their own failings. But here, in order of where they appear on the Telegraph front page, we have tougher powers for magistrates to clear trial backlog. Raab announces historic sentencing reform, freeing up judges to deal with major crimes. Magistrates will now have the power to send people to jail for a year. There's also Nadine Dorries and her attack on the dinosaur licence fee rules. That's her attack on the BBC. Priti Patel is warned that double the number of migrants could cross the Channel this year. And we have this story, NHS frontline staff must get jab in 2 weeks or face sack. This is all part of the NHS's plan to inflict staff shortages on itself, as well as a plethora of unfair dismissal legal battles. We move on to the Financial Times next, which reports that ministers explore paying energy suppliers to ease household bills. The more intervention there is in the energy market, the more problems they create for themselves. There's also a picture of Credit Suisse chair Horta Osorio, who has quit. And there's this story about default warnings as poorest nations face $11 billion surge in debt repayments. That sounds like the stuff of a John Perkins book about predatory foreign policy and UK and economic hitmen. We move on to the Metro, which keeps it rather more succinct. I will swear PM lied to the House. That is Dominic Cummings prepared to give an oath in Parliament, in court, I should say. Tory angst, this is the I next. Tory angst at Johnson leadership growing. They are the backbenchers and the Tory grassroots are growing increasingly discontent. We move to the Sun and Andrew's 6 in a bed, and this story promises a great deal and doesn't deliver. That's him and 5 toys when Duke sleeps at Buckingham Palace. His demands include Teddy holding a heart, Teddy with necklace, cuddly Black Panther, squishy grey hippo, and another hippo on green blanket. Hardly the sort of things you find at an Epstein do, but never mind. We move on to the Times, which has Javid plans NHS revolution modelled on academy schools. That sounds like another bit of Operation Red Meat. And also the big story of the day, Dominic Cummings, PM lied to Parliament about party. There's also a picture of Antonio Horta Osorio playing tennis, presumably not with Novak Djokovic. And magistrates get power to jail offenders for a year. That's the same story that the Telegraph is covering. And finally, last but by no means least, we have the Daily Star. And surely the story of the day, Brian, blessed be thy name, the man with the loudest voice in the world, is apparently a spiritual guru who exudes peace and tranquility. All hail the Daily Star.